This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
And welcome to Facts or Frauds. Now, friends, let's meet Mr. Evans out of Washington State, a self-proclaimed chief of the sovereign citizen Washitaw Nation. Yeah, you remember them?
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors.
Hello, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is Sylvester Evans. Is the court ready?
1 second.
Right.
Did you get the letter I mailed in, Your Honor?
I did not.
Is the court ready?
Yes.
Okay, I mailed the
One
letter.
second, Mr. Evans. So this is Sylvester Evans. It's 380312319, 480231898, 380655525, 380820191, 480472552, and 380549215. And I don't believe you were here, Your Honor, on Monday when Mr. Evans was arraigned. But Mr. Evans at that time indicated he wanted to represent himself, and he's also indicated that to me today. I did go over the waiver of attorney on pretrial and arraignment form with him, and explained it to him and talked about it. It sounds like when I spoke with him, because he's in custody right now, I know he wants to address his in custody status with the court, but I figured this needs to be addressed first. We discussed if he's in custody, he needs access to certain things and that unlikely he can get. So he would want an attorney on standby to assist him with that. And I said that I don't have any conflicts, so I don't have any issues doing that if that's the case. But just so the court's aware. But I know he wants to address his conditions of release, but he also wanted to represent himself.
Okay. And I believe Judge Freund did do the jail calendar on Monday. So did you say competency was raised? I didn't quite understand that piece.
Oh, no, I was talking about the other person. Johnson was who I started to talk about.
Got it.
And then when Mr. Evans walked in, I just said, we'll get to that when we're done with Mr. Evans.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for the clarification. All right. So, Mr. Evans, so we have not yet done the arraignment, right?
No, it was done.
It's done. So,
Monday. And the city doesn't believe there's any change in circumstances, so would object to defendant's motion
I
to
guess
release or adjust bail.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Chenoweth. I guess I just for my clarity. So this was on Monday, and we set it again for today for what specifically?
Pre-trial and the tracking reviews.
Okay.
Because the court set bail or bond, we set the pre-trials pretty quickly.
I would like to speak to Your Honor before we disconnect if possible, please.
All right, Mr. Evans. So it's my understanding that you do not want an attorney to assist you. Is that correct?
Like you said, if he could be on standby, I would like to represent myself because I invoked my right as a Aboriginal Native American Indian chief. That's I asked if you got that letter. So I have certain constitutional rights that's afforded to me. In addition to that, I have a leg injury where I'm on crutches and they have me in 23-hour lockdown. I didn't do anything wrong. And I was trying to see if it's possible, based on the fact that I invoked my right as an Aboriginal Native American Indian chief, that I definitely will appear at every appearance if I could get a pre-recognizance bond due to the circumstances. I assure you I'll show up, especially that I invoke my right as a Native American Indian chief.
What kind of pain and embarrassment has this lifestyle caused your mother?
And as the prosecutor stated earlier, Mr. Williams, I guess, what is the change? It doesn't sound as if you're noting any change of circumstance from when the court saw you on Monday and set bail.
Well, I can honestly say I don't recall defendant mentioning the Native American part on Monday, but he did discuss the other thing in quite more length than he actually even is today. So the court did have that before it. Now, as far as the other piece that he's presenting today, I state's positions that doesn't change anything, and there's no proof.
I sent the proof in the letter that I mailed out.
Wasn't provided to the city. I haven't seen any proof, and I would say that's not a change in circumstances.
I mailed the letter out on. I mailed the letter out on Tuesday with the evidence and the proof invoking my rights as a Native American Indian chief. So I'll be working to get this case removed to the federal courts. I need to also file in the federal courts a notice to remove as well. And it's going to be extremely difficult for me to do that from here in prison. So that's why I was asking if I could get a PR bond. I assure you I'll show up. I'm not going to play with my rights like that as a Native American Indian chief. In addition to that, I'm in 23-hour lockdown with my crutches, and it's affecting my leg. I broke my tibia and fibula in 5-6 different places. And the muscles and the nerves in my leg are getting worse because I'm not able to rehab it like I'm supposed to.
And Ms. Chenwiller, seeing that I wasn't here on Monday, what is the bail currently set at?
$500 cash or bond on each of the 6 cases.
And does Mr. Williams have, what is his FTA history?
He does have a substantial warrant fighting history, including an active warrant out of Tacoma Municipal Court. Also, has not complied with court orders, and that he repeatedly returns to the airport. We have 4 pre-trials and 2 reviews involving those allegations, the same allegation before the court today. Has warrant fighting history in pretty much every case.
What is his date of birth? I'm trying to find him on Jabs.
My last name is Evans. It's not Williams.
It is 6.
And also, there's no evidence that I was trespassing. Each time I was there on valid personal travel. So this case lacks evidence, which is also why I asked to have it dismissed in the letter as well.
He went into that on Monday as well.
And also, I never invoked my right as a Native American Indian chief. This time I did. So therefore, I will not miss not one court date, I assure you. Can you please?
I'm not sure what you being a Native American chief has anything to do with you coming to court.
Because I represent a sovereign state, and as a sovereign state, I have the right to have these cases heard before the United States of America, the Supreme Court of the United States of America. And in the letter, I put the details that prove what I'm saying, and also it should prompt everything to be moved to the United States Supreme Court, especially with some of the details that I put in there regarding my circumstances and what I have going on, which I'm sure Chief Justice Roberts can verify once the process or whatever, which I'm trying to go through the process now, but it's going to be very difficult to do this from inside the jail. But as a chief of a sovereign tribe that's federally and internationally recognized, I have the right constitutionally to go to, I have immunity, and I have the right as a sovereign state to have this cases heard before the United States of America. In addition to that, I have different types of immunity that I fall under as well.
All right, enough. Look it, you're a sovereign citizen movement. That is it. Look, even the Supreme Court said so. You're fictional.
All right, Mr. Evans, so I gave you an opportunity to speak just to make sure I understood exactly what was happening in this case since I was not the judge on Monday. I have had an opportunity to review your criminal history, and I do see that you have had warrants in pretty much every case that has been filed against you that I can see in the state of Washington. So right now, I'm not hearing any change of circumstance that would give me any change in circumstance that would allow me to change the bail from $500 on each case. So that will remain as previously set on Monday. Additionally, we need to address the fact that you are requesting a waiver of right to an attorney. I will note that I don't believe that that is in your best interest. I think an attorney would be helpful to you. However, if that is what you would like to do, I want to make sure that you understand that you have one, two, three, four, uh, and you have four cases that are pre-disposition, and it sounds as if you have two review matters, which means you've already entered into some sort of plea on those cases. But on your new cases, do you understand, Mr. Evans, that these are gross misdemeanors?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that with that, you could potentially serve up to 364 days in jail and or pay a fine of up to $5,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that you do have a right to have an attorney, have a lawyer represent you in all stages of these proceedings. And if you cannot afford a lawyer, that you have the right to request a public defender,
Yes, Your Honor.
and that a public defender, if you qualify, will be appointed to represent you,
Yes, Your Honor.
and that you may be at a disadvantage if you proceed without a lawyer.
Yes, Your Honor. As I previously
Okay,
stated.
Mr. Evans, I heard everything that you had to say. I just need to make sure that you understand the rights and that you understand that you'll be required to follow all the laws of evidence and court rules which apply to this case. Do you
Yes, Your
understand
Honor.
that? And that these laws and rules can be technical and complex, and that you may not fully understand them without a lawyer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that you realize that by proceeding as your own lawyer, if you do not represent if you do not represent yourself in a competent manner, that you will not be able to obtain a reversal of a conviction on the grounds that you received inadequate representation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you aware of the risks and disadvantages of proceeding without a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And knowing that you still choose to represent yourself, knowing the risks, you freely waive your right to be represented by an attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you are waiving your right to be represented by an attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Uh,
And also, would you be able to look into a oral motion to dismiss due to lack of evidence at this hearing?
you would have to do that, Mr. Evans. You are acting on your behalf as an attorney. So that is a motion that would need to come from you and or your attorney.
I actually mailed in a letter. I was trying to see if the courts received that letter because that was in the letter that I mailed.
Okay, we do not have that letter at this time. So we're going to set this matter for another pretrial hearing.
Could you set it for sometime next week when you guys get the letter so you can understand everything I'm saying?
I believe we
Better?
will have to set it in due course in regards to the court's availability.
Yes, Your Honor.
May I inquire if a copy of that was sent to the city?
I mailed it off to the clerk's office, and also, Your Honor, could you please put on note that I requested that that letter get sealed due to the protection of innocent life, not only mine, but others that's at stake due to the information I revealed about me being a Native American Indian chief and the evidence that I've revealed in it. That could you please put on note that I asked that it be sealed immediately?
And again, Mr. Evans, those sort of things need to be done in writing to the court. Mr.
I
Iona, do
did.
you have any concerns about competency?
I I do, but I'm hoping that if the court sets a hearing next week, I think either on Tuesday or Wednesday, perhaps that letter will have come in and it might answer.
Okay. So for right now, I did sign the waiver of attorney, but I am going to allow counsel to remain on standby. Let me see when's the next time we can.
And Your Honor, would this be in custody or out?
This is in custody.
Thank you.
All right. And Ms. Garza, what?
Next Wednesday would be better than Tuesday since Monday's the holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we are setting these matters for a pretrial conference on Wednesday, May 29th. Ms. Garza, do I have to go into each individual one and hit the pretrial button?
Yes, or the review button for that case.
I'm not sure which ones are the reviews.
The case ending in 1-9 is a review, and ending in 2-5 is a review.
Thank you.
So on the order, it's the top one and the very bottom one.
And also, Yara, I would like also to put on note that I mailed the letter off on a blank piece of paper and I numbered it. If it's kind of difficult to read, you might have to put something on each line because due to the circumstances, that's why I had to mail the letter off. I mailed the letter off.
Say what?
Because I was in a tank to where I didn't have access to anything. They had me in a restrictive tank while I'm on 23-hour lockdown. And I have no access to the law library or nothing.
All right, so we are setting these matters for May 29th at 11 a.m., all matters. If there's nothing else to address, this concludes this matter.
Just want to note for the record that the city is going to object to the motions being heard if we don't receive copies.
Did you hear that, Mr. Evans?
They're gonna, no, ma'am, could you repeat it, please?
The city has stated, since you are acting as your own attorney, that if they do not receive the information that you have provided to the court, that they will be objecting. It is a responsibility of you or your attorney to provide any information to the court and to the prosecutor.
All I can do is mail the letter off. I mailed it off. I don't know if the guards kept it or if it gets lost in the mail. I don't know. I can remail the letter off. I can rewrite it and remail it off. But I mailed the letter off. I definitely sent it off, and I have the guard that picked it up. I have documented the guard that picked the letter up. So I definitely mailed it off, and it should be on camera that I handed the letter to the guard.
All
The
right, well,
city's entitled to an opportunity to respond. We would need it at the very latest by Monday. I mean, if we're setting it for Wednesday.
I mailed the letter off Tuesday. So it may get there today or tomorrow. Because it shouldn't take no more than 1 or 2 days for it to get right there to SeaTac court. I mailed it to the 48th Street, and I put on there to the clerk. I attentioned it to the clerk, so that letter shouldn't take that long. If it doesn't come to you guys, that means it got lost in the mail or something like that, and I would have to rewrite it. I do have a rough draft of it. So I will be able to read it out to you verbatim Wednesday if you like, if you haven't received the letter by Wednesday. I did keep a rough draft of the letter, so I could read it out to you verbatim. Or if you don't mind, if you could give me a second, I can go and get the rough draft out of my cell right now and read it to you.
no, we are not ready to address that today. So we will address these matters again on Wednesday, May 29th. All right, so this concludes this matter. Bail, as I stated, will remain as previously set, as well as all previous conditions of release.
Thank you. Then we have to put the bail amounts in.
Yes, that's what I am.
Thank you.
Doing. And it's 500 each case, right, Ms. Chenweller?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Could I get a copy of the paperwork, please?
You will receive a copy of the paperwork. All right, this concludes this matter. Have a good day, Mr. Evans.
Same here. God bless.
You can't fix stupid.
And once again, thanks for hanging out with us on Facts or Frauds. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, you're subscribed, and ring that bell for notifications so next time I premiere a video you can meet a live chat with everyone else and leave a comment in the comment section, tell me what you think. And a huge thank you to all of our Facts or Frauds channel members. If you'd like to become a member, click on the link in the description or join right next to subscribe. And if you're still hanging around, thank you. I appreciate you all. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, you're subscribed, ring the bell, and leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Till next time, I'll see you soon.